Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to iAllegedly. I've got a good one for you today. Bankruptcies are surging with small business. You're starting to see something insane where you're going to have 30-minute delivery from Amazon. Hit the like button. Please subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to join our email list because we have a nice little announcement coming out shortly. And I'm in Irvine, California, and I love this. They take these stretches of road next to busy streets and turn them into these long walkway parks, which are nice. But let's talk about this. Amazon is the devil, okay? They're horrible, right? Anyways, either you love Amazon or you hate Amazon. The funny thing about Amazon is that, hey, let's keep it status quo. Let's keep our business. Let's do the same thing. No, they're putting their foot on the gas, and it is hitting the floor right now. They are coming up with 30-minute delivery. 30 minutes. Imagine you're baking a cake, and oh my gosh, we need more eggs. Go to the store. No, you can contact Amazon Delivery and get things there in 30 minutes. Is that wild? An hour max. It's crazy. Now, with this program, they started it in Seattle. They did Philadelphia, and now this is like, okay, they did a test, Dan, big deal. No, it's going to Fort Worth, Texas next. And you're going to be able to get food, household items. Hey, I need trash bags immediately. Oh, we need rags. Get them here. Amazon will get them there within the hour. Within the hour of you pressing, I'm buying that. That is crazy. And the idea with this is that it's going to make stores obsolete. Now, this goes to the broker Aaron deal. Aaron Smile sends me all this cool stuff, and this story came from that Biz Now that he always sends me. And the cool thing about this is that you've got all these different warehouses that are vacant right now around the country. What are they doing? They're sitting saying, hey, we would love to be an Amazon warehouse. There was a place called Fry's Electronics that was big time here in Southern California, around the country. And they had a huge store in Anaheim, California. And everybody said, like, what are you going to do with that? I think it was 2018, 2019 when they finally went out of business. And just the bankruptcy when it was inevitable for Fry's. But it was about this time. They had no Black Friday deal, and it was awful. Who bought that place and who took it over? Amazon. The entire place, every single square inch of it, they took. Now, this is going to change business, which goes to the second part of this opening, and that you are seeing small businesses at a record pace file bankruptcy right now. And this is the mom and pop businesses. This is the catering companies. This is companies that do home improvements. My buddy was going to hang my lights on my house, and then he had hip replacement surgery. So instead of being mean and saying, you're going to do it, you promised, I hired somebody, okay? And the guy that showed up today was great, but he was sitting there saying, hey, I'm a contractor, and it's really light. And it was really good, but it was like a great way to earn extra money, and people are genuinely nice. And he genuinely nice, he said. And he gives people different things. He can buy the lights or do it. He does really big projects, and then makes a few $100 from guys like me. So it was great. It's fantastic. So with that being said, people are doing more and more things to make ends meet right now. But if you're doing Christmas lights, that's one thing. But the rest of society is off right now. Think about this. Amazon. How much money did Amazon sell in perishable food in the last year? Would you be shocked to hear it was $180 billion? Isn't that wild? $180 billion in perishable food. Now, that excludes Whole Foods. They own Whole Foods Market. Jeff Bezos bought Whole Foods, and I love Whole Foods just because of the freshness and how clean the stores are, and they have the smoker in there. They have all these different things in there, and their butcher shop, is great. They have real butchers. The produce area, they've got all this different types. Here, the one in Tustin, California is really big, and they have all these different things. And if you ever want to cook anything exotic, oh, I want bok choy, I want this, I want that, they have it and they know about it and how to cook it and things like that, which is a real big deal. But Amazon is putting their foot on the gas, and this is going to make small markets, it's going to make small businesses go out of business. Now, here is the thing. We have not seen this type of bankruptcy level. We saw it, go up around 2020 because people couldn't handle COVID. That was a real problem. But the fact that you've seen millions of businesses, almost 2 million businesses, file bankruptcy already in 2025 is awful. Now, what they attribute it to, they go back, the records, and you can read the stories below. The records go back a year from now. And it started in October of 2024, where things really started to get ratchet up, where people weren't going to survive. And you yourself know, if you're just getting by paying your bills. But the problem with it is, here is the problem. When a business goes out of business and you close and you don't pay your bills, it affects so many other people. It affects all your suppliers, it affects your employees, it affects absolutely everybody you deal with. Now, multiply that to different industries, the construction industry, specialty home improvements, all these different industries that are done. This is creating a problem for, like, you wouldn't believe. So you're starting to see all these bankruptcies. And here's something that's wild, is that in 2020, there was a new bankruptcy for small businesses called Chapter V, which I'd never heard of until this. And what it is it's designed to have you get out of your debt quicker. So if you own a small business and you have less than $7 million in debt, guys, $7 million is a lot of money. It's a ton of money. What is a small business right now? Well, basically, Dan, it's under $30 million. That's a huge business to me and to you and to everybody else. So they set up this program that was designed to streamline bankruptcy and make people be able to get out of debt faster. The only problem is that a lot of people took advantage of it. And what they did this year in the new administration is they lowered that requirement to $3 million. So you can get out of your debts and use this Chapter V. V as in Victor, V as in victory, V as I'm not going to pay you. You can do that, and if you have less than $3 million worth of debt. I was blown away. I just was like, wow, that's a lot. And again, there's a lot of people going out of business. The problem with it is that things are ratcheting up. And I wanted to read you some of this stuff because we've got industry people that are saying, hey, this is bad. And Amy Quackenbush, the executive director of American Bankruptcy Institute, persistent economic headwinds have made it difficult for who? Small businesses to get credit, to be able to pay their bills, to be able to charge enough and make money. Because at the end of the day, you need to be able to charge enough to have a profit so that you are a viable entity. And, according to Amy, that's a problem. The next one is Pamela Fouhey, Allen Post professor of law. The rise of business and consumer bankruptcies foretells that more bankruptcies are coming in the future. You're going to see a raft of bankruptcies between now and 2025, the end of 2025, and you're going to see it get escalated even bigger. That's crazy, man. That is nuts. It really, really is. Now, one other thing that came out was, we've talked a lot about identity theft and things like that lately. And here's the thing. I was driving home last night, filming and making videos, answering phone calls. And I look at my phone, I look at my notifications, and there were 3 more notifications from Capital One in regards to the credit card that got compromised, stolen, data. It was ripped off, and people tried to charge things at Walmart. There were 3 more charges from Walmart during this time, and I was furious. I'm like, this card's closed. How can somebody attempt that? So I called Capital One. Guy gets on the phone with me. He's like, wow, this is weird. I'm like, what do you mean it's weird? He goes, well, they just keep trying the card, and because we're notifying you to let you know you're not going to get approved. I said, why do these all say they're approved? Well, that's the standard text that goes through, blah, blah, blah. Now, for those of you that don't get the text messages and don't get this and don't, you, if I would have got that, it was over $3,000 now worth of charges at this point. $700, 677. They just kept going and going and going. Again, foot on the gas. Charge Dan. Woohoo! It's going to be great. So, man, the bankruptcy filings, you're going to see this go up. Get worse and worse and worse. The private payrolls that they announced in November the other day fell 32,000. We lost 32,000 jobs. Now, is this the fact that we're getting realistic numbers, or is this just the sign of the times that things are bad? Guys, there's no holiday hiring right now. The mall is not busy. People are not shopping. I know, my daughter called me about this one this morning. Remember how many relatives worked at Macy's and different department stores, Nordstrom's, for holiday help, and they would do it so that they could go out and make extra money year-round. Nope. Go to the holidays, get your employee discount, save 35% off the price, which was great, and then make extra money between now and Christmas. Nope, that's not happening. But the numbers are off, and again, small businesses are shuttering. They're getting rid of people. They're having their wives work. They're having family members work. You kids, after school, you're in here. I'm not hiring anybody new right now. Now, something that is totally alarming is there's an online credit place for cars, and the numbers are staggering of how many people got their data stolen. And I want to read this to you. The dark web is posting that there were well over 1 million people. There are 12,000 dealerships, 12,000 car dealerships across the country that had their data stolen. How many people fill out applications? And now all this information's out there, and it's being sold on the dark web. And the cool thing with the dark web is you can buy a sample. You can go look at this one. They have all the data from these car dealerships. Think about it. You give everything. When you go buy a car and you finance it, you're given your everything but blood during that. So they're saying that they have 100 records, and shows all the consistent fields that people filled out. There's already been one class action lawsuit that has been filed, but man, oh man, oh man, you're going to see this become a bigger problem. And Social Security numbers, dates of birth, addresses, employment information, your phone numbers, all this stuff is gone. And dealers using 700 credit scores, some of them haven't even been notified yet that this is done. Read the story below. It's fantastic. And, insurance carrier information. Oh my God, they got everything. So it'll be interesting. Have you been the victim of identity theft? It is horrific when that happens. And again, people trying to use the credit card for Danny, you're going to see this more and more right now. Don't forget that we have a private channel, uncensored, called iAllegedly Live. It's all the uncensored stuff. So many of you signed up. I went and checked the records the other day, and we've had people sign up for a year, people sign up monthly. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to look at newvideos.com too, the video sharing site. That is killing it right now, and people are using that to advertise their businesses too. So a lot of cool stuff that's happening right now. And a couple things, the dollar store industry is a scam. And there's a great article from, of all places, The Guardian, talking about how the dollar store industry is a complete ripoff. And it used to be something where people would go out and they would save money. I mean, guys, I used to buy toothpaste for $1, $1.25. And now you walk in there and you walk into the dollar stores, and like my brother said, he goes, I was in there the other day and you got $10 items in there now, and you're trying to figure out what everything is. It's insanity. And it is, guys. It's too much. But people go in there and they overpay for crap and junk, and it's ripping off the poorest people in the world. So that is going to be interesting to see how that plays out, and if these places do well between now and the end of the year. Christmas trinkets are not selling. People are not buying stuff to celebrate the holidays like they did. Home Depot, I was in there today, and the Christmas lights that are normally $8 a piece are 4 for $10 right now. And I'm like, is that right? Yeah, we just got to blow them out. It's early December, bro. You really gonna get rid of it? Oh, yeah, we got to get rid of it now. Normally the stuff is gone by now. It's gone. I need to make room for stuff. Okay, it's his store. Anyways, point is that it's a deal to get all this stuff right now. So, are you buying this? Are you celebrating Christmas and the holidays like you normally do? I just don't think people are. You know, been invited to a few Christmas parties and things like that, but it's going to be interesting to see if they're, ratcheted up or ratcheted down. And again, another broker Aaron story at Cannon Hill Tri-Post team, they're going to start buying distressed office buildings and buy them. And they're starting on the East Coast and going from top to bottom on the East Coast and buying these office buildings because they're being dilapidated. And here is the thing about being a landlord that sucks. And that is you have to maintain the property. Got to have electricity, got to have insurance, got to have somebody clean it up. The restrooms have got to be open. Things like that people just don't think about. Oh, that stuff's inexpensive, Dan, it's free. Okay, do that times 100 and tell me if it's inexpensive. That's what people don't get and don't put pen to paper to. But now this company, read the article, the last story below, they're coming out and they're buying these distressed properties. You're going to see opportunity come out of people's calamities. You're going to see these bankruptcies force people out of business, and you're going to see people swoop in and buy stuff. One thing I did, this is 20 years ago, is I started to look at buying different distressed properties out of bankruptcy and things like that, inventory and things like that to sell it. And I had a friend's dad who was great, and he said, Dan, just buy kitchen items. Now, this was long before the dollar stores. He would go out and get different retailers that would go out of business that would sell kitchen items, and he would get pallets delivered to the front of his house. And we'd go to Mr. Kelly's house, and what'd you get, and go through it. And he would sell all that stuff at the swap meet and on Craigslist and things like that. But that was back in the day when you had to go out and he would list things and put his address down there. Okay? So it's crazy. But think of something. Make some money. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Aren't these really cool? Nice little park area to walk through. Okay? You want to get a hold of me, it's hello@iallegedly.com. So much is happening that we're living through. The news daily. It's too much right now. Okay? Onward and upward, guys. I'll see you very soon.